Hi there. We're two coaches named Maureen, and we're here to share with you some coaching insights. Today is a fun share about what happens when you feel like you're flailing in a canoe. And this topic is near and dear to my heart because when you
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, so we were just talking about flailing in a canoe, and how disorienting it can be, and sometimes you need a little guidance, better of how to canoe better, or how to guide the canoe better, or how to do that J stroke better, or how to get around the rocks a little bit better. And sometimes you need somebody else in your canoe. And you have to decide who that person might be. So that's kind of a little explanation of where we were going with it.
Awesome. Thanks, Maureen. Yeah. And this is it's a timely topic for me. And my experience recently that I was sharing with you about how I was actually stuck, and you were able to ask me a question that helped bring up that image of the canoe. And I thought it was going to be one thing. And then I had that, oh my gosh, that chaos of flailing in the canoe. And it was really helpful to have the situation that I was experiencing to be just changed to this canoe scenario. And
one of the things that you did when we were working together was to decide how you wanted to be in the canoe after you realized how it was in the canoe for you. And once you decided how you wanted the canoe to be and where you wanted to be in it, you were able to move in a different way toward the topic of interest.
Absolutely. And that is how we can actually help ourselves to create more ease in our lives by looking at things perhaps from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And having somebody help us to shift that perspective.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's hard to actually name where we are because we use the same old metaphors and patterns that we've been using that have allowed us to get stuck in this sort of circular pattern with no movement in a particular direction that we're interested in. And if we can shift to something different that might be totally unrelated, then we can actually move ourselves outside of that stuck point just by looking at the problem from a different angle.
Yes. And I'm smiling because I'm still seeing the image of me and my grade 12 friend in a canoe up on Widgeon Creek, just spinning because neither of us knew how to paddle the canoe properly. And that's what can happen is you just start going around and around. It's dizzying. And so there's a sense of, I can breathe again, a sense of calm, which can also then help our brains function differently in order to approach situations from a different angle and just have some wiggle room in how we approach it.
Yeah, and oftentimes there's a bit of a trigger, right? You know, we talk about, you and I have talked before about being seen and being heard, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes when we take the courageous step to be real, being seen, being me, then we can naturally go back into the spin to prevent
Yeah.
us from moving forward. And the first step is, hey, realizing I'm in this spin and I know what this spin is, and I'm having trouble getting out of it. And then possibly realizing that this is my defense mechanism against being as great as I can be.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely.
And
so it's, I'm thinking
just
recognizing.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the recognizing is really vital, and recognizing these old patterns that come up, and they can feel sneaky. We don't even recognize necessarily that it's a pattern until something can help awake that realization in us. And having the conversation with you earlier really helped me to see, and I'd known there was old patterns. I was just not able to shift out of them. And so having the conversation, the visualization, and
sort of the perspective shift.
Yeah.
Well,
anything else? Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking of the action and reflection. So that's one of the things that coaching is based on, and so the reflective piece is realizing where I'm at and what's happening with the spin, and then the action piece is to realize what I can do and go ahead and do that, and then reflect on where I am, and maybe I'm going to spin there too for a bit, and then I will take the next step. So that's really what coaching can help somebody master, is how to move sort of in the way that they want to move toward the goal that they want to move to, and knowing that they're going to spin at times, and that's okay.
Yeah, and you can have a little bit of fun along the way while you're spinning, and it doesn't have to be so heavy and constricted
and judgmental.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you want to check us out or learn more about what we do, you can look at our websites. Mine is simple: Caley-Verdonk.com, MoCaley-Verdonk.com, and Maureen is
Maureen-Mayhew.com. So MAUREEN MAYHEW.com.
Awesome. And until next time, take really good care.
Yeah, and be bold and courageous. Okay.